their first meeting in Milwaukee back in November. Fed wins that one 11-5 in the third. We'll have Zane Ford serving to start us off. Zane Ford, originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, just 20 years old, moved down to Florida as a teenager to kind of train, play tennis on the ITF tour, one of the top juniors in the world. Now all in on pickleball.
Watch with Zane, kind of a tall, lanky guy. But one of the things I really noticed about him is how low he gets on the ball. He's great knee bend. Very effective in his technique. He's very low to the ball. He's got really good ground strokes, both sides. He can also play some cat and mouse. He can put some really good top spin on the ball. That's going to help him. He's going downwind slightly here. He's going to want to use that top spin to keep the ball in, not carrying long. Looks like Feddy got a little bit of a Maraca ball off the start. Something inside it. They switch balls. But since they start every game with a new ball, no big difference.
No big deal. And both players trading missed returns to start this one off.
1-1.
We see that kind of abbreviated. Staksrud certainly loves the cat and mouse, probably more than most singles players.
Yeah, I think one of the things that differentiates Feddy and Ben Johns from the field, why those two have been so successful, is their ability to play the game every which way. You'll see Staksrud typically when he gets in trouble, deep shots to the backhand when he's back at the baseline. A lot of players try to do a hero shot and just hit a drive, hit a passing shot. Feddy, just like Ben Johns, will tend to chip the ball cross court to the opponent's backhand, initiating some cat and mouse.
Got Staksrud kind of the wind certainly picking up here on Grandstand. Staksrud wanting to take a pause, let it die down. Ford is out here. He's ready to go. Looking to get the serve, and now Staksrud's ready.
Yeah, Feddy going into the wind. Doesn't want to have to hit into it too strong of a wind.
That one stays in for Ford. Too much for even Staksrud to overcome on that one.
You saw the topspin generated by Zane Ford on that shot, hoping to keep the ball in, even off the tick off the net.
Another note on Staksrud, actually was the only player to play every single PPA Tour event in 2024, and more impressively there, he actually earned at least one medal in every single PPA tournament. Mr. Consistent, as he's sometimes called. But now it's Zane Ford with the early advantage, 4-2. Jimmy talks about the topspin he generates. We see it on full display there.
Yeah, a smart play. Again, you don't tend to see that from the newer players coming over, but that's a really smart shot. Very difficult to hit a passing shot when the ball's deep to your backhand and your opponent can cover so much of the net like Feddy can. Just roll it safely to their backhand and sort of restart the point, look for a better opportunity. Wow. Athleticism.
From Ford that earned him a short return, and that put him in the driver's seat in that point. But you see Fed there just able to stay and grind through that rally.
Yeah! Cool!
ball rolling under our commentator desk here. Zane taking his time. It's another thing, Will, that's unusual about Ford as a young player is he really shows patience. He really takes his time between points. Watch how many times he pauses between points just to gather his thoughts, be ready for the next point, not rush into it. Oh, there's that top spin. Both ways, inside out, then cross court. Ball really dipping as it gets over the net.
Ford with the 5-2 advantage here in game one. Staksrud been stuck on 2 for a few side outs. He'll look to make it to 3 right here.
The missed serve return. 2 of Fedi's 3 points came from missed serve returns.
That one just wide off the net there for Staksrud. Not too much harm done if you're Ford. Missed return, but gets the serve right back.
5-3.
And you have to think if you're Ford, you know, I think there can be a lot of nerves, you know, against playing the top seed. You know, maybe you don't always find your best level, but he's already played him twice, and he's played him pretty close both times, and so that's got to give him some confidence, or at the very least minimize those nerves that you sometimes see from players playing a top seed early in the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think the occasion is too big for Ford. Bet he's going to have to earn this one. Oh, look at that again. Court coverage by both players. Using his length to cover the volley.
It was a nice job by Ford not cheating over too early to cover the line, but waiting until Fed hit it to go over.
So far. Not trying to do too much when he has a backhand, waiting for a forehand. That's his money shot. I don't think that's going to work. Pretty tough to lob down win today. You see Staksrud trying to get it to Ford's backhand, or at least force him to run way around it.
And it's not even that Ford's backhand is a weakness, it's just that his forehand, as we've seen, is so good.
Yeah, exactly.
What a drop volley there from Ford. And Ford there just on cleanup duty. The wind, it's already been a factor, but it's really starting to pick up here over the past few minutes here, Jim. We'll see if any adjustments come out of that we can see from these two.
Wow, what a volley there from Ford. There you saw a good example of how good he is at bending the knees, getting down low. He's probably about 6'2", 6'3", but really got done with Staksrud. Hit a great shot. That shot wins 90% of the time.
6-3.
even forward on the full extension.
Cross-court backhands, not designed necessarily to win the point, just trying to reset it, get a better opportunity.
Staksrud finds his forehand there, gets off of 3. Both players trying to pump themselves up after they win a point. We are seeing Staksrud, points on the serve right now are not easy to come by. It's, you know, outside of a few missed returns, Ford is playing very smart when returning. Making the margins extremely small for Staksrud.
Yeah. Well, when Ford can use the wind behind him to get a good, deep approach shot, then he gets the net with that length. There's just not a lot of open spots for passing shots.
Yes, baby, let's go.
Blowing which side he's on, who the opponent is, he's going to play a very aggressive style of pickleball. He's going to come to the net whenever he can. He's playing the game at the kitchen line.
What a return there from Zane Ford.
Great angle.
Almost a clean winner.
Staksrud with the full extension, almost a, I guess that would have been a third shot ATP from the baseline.
Side out.
Zane asking about his challenges. He's got 3 to play with for the entire match. He can use them whenever he wants. Looks like he's going to use one right now.
He will use one here. Now 7-4. Ford will serve again.
Time in. 7-4.
Let's go!
Point.
Pretty clear.
Keeping his head throughout that. Easy to get caught up in your opponent's emotions. So
8-4.
a lot of credit Zane Ford for his mental approach to the game.
Side out.
It was interesting there. You see the wind picked up before Ford hit that. Wow, you see it taking the ball all the way off the court now. But Ford did not go for as much on that serve, probably because of how strong the wind is right now. And Staksrud
definitely questioning the wind, with the rule being if it's gusting to 20, they're supposed to stop play.
4-8.
You can see the net moving as a result of the wind, and Staksrud willing to wait this one out. I think at this point, you know, Zane Ford playing so well, it's about the wind, I'm sure, for Staksrud, but maybe also just wanting to see if Ford will cool off a little bit.
Yeah, if they think it was clearly in. She decided it was clearly in, so overturn. I'll finish the explanation after this point. And then Staksrud calls for the head ref. The head referee then comes, and his standard is he only overrules the video referee if he thinks the video referee's call is clearly wrong. So he's not actually looking at the call by Staksrud. He's looking at the video referee's call.
So it's more of a quality assurance there from the referee.
And so Don actually thought that he couldn't tell whether the ball was in or out. So if Don had been the video referee, he would have sustained the out call. But because he was sort of the appellate court, he has a different standard of proof, if you will. Very interesting.
Tricky play there from Staksrud, and it looked like he wasn't even going to hit the backhand. Hits it at the last second. Able to force the pop-up, but in some trouble here, trailing 4-9.
4-9.
Wow, That topspin volley. Wow.
Somehow stays in.
Yes, not only stayed in, but had so much topspin that it went to the second bounce really quickly. So Staksrud, as quick as he is, couldn't even get to it. Great shot.
9-4. Side out.
Staksrud been stuck at 4 for what feels like 10 to 15 minutes with all the delays as well. We've got another weather graphic. It looks like,
4-9.
get that updated for you.
Point.
Ford being very intentional about being slow after missing that return.
Yeah, there's been a couple of times where he's asked Feddy to wait before serving. Not that Staksrud was trying to quick serve him in any way, but definitely Ford just taking his time. It's not going to work.
Staksrud finding his form here. Nice 2-point run. Now we do get a look at the weather graphic. 70 degrees, very sunny outside, but that wind, 22 miles per hour. Wind gusts up to 45, 44. Yeah, so certainly a factor. And now missed returns becoming a factor for Zane Ford. I believe that's his 4th of the first game. And we do game 1, but 2 challenges.
7-9.
Mm.
Point.
I think he has 3 challenges left because he won his challenge. So if I remember the new rule, if you're correct on your challenge, you get to keep it.
Yes, three free challenges. That's what it is. So you get to keep it because he was correct. And those missed returns now really starting to play a role here.
Needs a side out desperately right here. Staksrud just pounding the backhand.
Attacking that spot on his last 3 forehands. Ties it up at 9.
9-9.
Ford asking Staksrud to wait a moment before serving.
Another missed return there. And Staksrud, he is someone who
Game point.
likes to play very quickly, especially when he's on a roll.
Zane not happy, kind of muttering under his breath about #1 in the world, and you got a quick serve. So Zane's got to keep his head together here.
Yeah!
Side out.
Go!
Saves the game point. An interesting baseline rally. We haven't seen a ton of those, just where both guys hitting shots from the baseline.
Yeah, good point. Well, I was just thinking as they played the point, I was waiting for either player to come into the kitchen, and neither did.
9-10.
Yeah!
Point.
Ah,
Go!
boy, he needed that. He needed that. You see how Ford, when he's serving, he can set the pace. He's got the ball. He's going to take his time.
Tied up at 10. It's going to take more than 11 here to take game 1.
Wow. Great coverage there.
These guys know what's at stake,
10-10.
especially here in game 1.
Staksrud is just going to keep repeating that. He's just going to keep pounding Ford's backhand and come to the net. He's going to make Zane beat him with the backhand.
Game point. 11-10.
Oh, bad bounce there.
Awkward bounce there on the serve. And hate to see a game of such high caliber end with a missed return, but Staksrud battles back from a 4-9 deficit. Takes game 1, 12-10 over Zane Ford. We'll see how.
Pass Feddy with the backhand. Nice cat and mouse. I think it's a tough assignment though. apply maximum pressure. He's got a good hard serve, good hop to it with topspin. So Zane's going to be kind of on his heels, well behind the baseline, starting off a lot of these points.
What is that?
Fed goes for the ATP.
It almost was an ATP in an Ernie. It was so wide.
0-1.
Yeah, there's a nice shot by Zane running around that backhand. And Staksrud is going to keep approaching with shots to Ford's backhand. He hasn't even seemed to toss one in once in a while to Ford's forehand to keep him honest. He's just going to pound the backhand.
Knows how dangerous of a shot that forehand is.
Point.
I think Ford needs to come to the net as often as he can, as much as he can. Try, if nothing else, just trying to keep Staksrud off the net.
Start out.
And Ford's so low there. His knees on the ground. We've talked about how low he gets on the drives, especially on the forehand. Maybe a little too low there.
Yeah, he can't get any lower than that. He had one knee on the ground. Serve returns.
Missed returns. I believe that's the 4th or 5th one of the match. They certainly helped Staksrud get back into game 1, and they're only going to make this more of a challenge for Ford. But again, it is, you know, now with Staksrud with wind at his back, that serve's going to be extra powerful, extra deep.
Yeah. You saw the depth, the lack of depth of Zane Ford's return there. That's just going to be meat and potatoes for Staksrud. Giving an approach shot off of a short return is not the way to go. Zane's got to get these serve returns deeper.
And again, the wind picking up right as Staksrud was hitting that serve.
I don't think Feddy minded the wind on that one. Ford's got to be careful. This game could easily get away from him and turn into like an 11-2, 11-3 game.
Especially with how quickly Staksrud wants to play.
Yes. Yeah, that's better by Ford.
I think it was a get up to the kitchen line. I think I'm interested to see if he's going to continue to try and get some height and depth on those returns.
Yeah, no, that's not a bad tactic. If the wind is blowing so hard that your normal shot just can't get enough depth, you can loop it. Wow. That's nasty.
Just, I mean, to not speed that ball up, it just goes with the angle. Talk about cat and mouse. Beautiful display there.
Staksrud netting that volley, but he'll take that type of point every time.
Especially on serve.
2-4.
Not penalized for missing that one.
Start out.
Ford himself getting, I believe, a little frustrated with the wind, just seeing it's basically creating a wall that stops the ball in its tracks.
4-2.
A good reaction there with Staksrud. That ball off.
Trying to do the right things, right? Going for that depth and trying to play at the kitchen line to stop Staksrud from being the aggressor, but very difficult for him right now. Ford did wrong foot Staksrud, but just misses the final shot. It was a great drop volley to initially get ahead in the rally.
We see a little bit of the interesting timeout strategy where you only have one per game. Normally I would have expected a timeout here from Ford. Maybe not using it because he only gets one.
Stays in.
Staksrud letting that go. Oh, what a shot.
And you see Ford looking to use spin and some shorter angles when he's at the kitchen line, but Staksrud's still able to cover the court so effectively.
6-2. Start out. Point.
Ford just getting a little frustrated. I mean, the ball is taking some, you know, unusual hops because of the wind. But it's true for both players. Just got to focus. Can't let it bother you. Got to really watch the ball.
7-2 for the top seed.
Nice fun cat and mouse point.
I think Staksrud got the ball he wanted there.
Yep.
Higher forehand, just
even the #1 singles player in the world can miss one once in a while. And then they come back and hit that shot.
and that's why he's the #1.
7-2.
Wow. Again, the short serve returns.
To finish it off
Yeah.
as well.
Just call it good, and then you get credit for the great shot.
Exactly.
8-2.
8-2. Ford's still not calling a timeout. Oh yeah, I love that play from Staksrud. Used too many drop volleys. The player's learning some strategy with the new rule.
Part of the gamesmanship.
No, I thought it was a really smart play. Whoever, I can't remember who did it, but I thought it was a really smart play.
Point.
Backhand into the net from Ford makes it match point. Federico Staksrud.
Match point.
And you see Ford still
10-2.
keeping the ball in hand before he sends it back to Staksrud because he knows Feddy's gonna want to serve as soon as he gets his hand on the ball.
Point.
That'll do it.
11-2.
Staksrud advancing the top seed 12-10, 11-2 over Zane Ford. This one